and get here at a reasonable time, even though our schools are on a 2-hour delay. So my kids, I left them at home sleeping for a little bit. So welcome and good morning. We appreciate you coming. If I could have Barbara Farmer please come up. Thank you, to give our invocation.
Good morning to this hale and hearty group. I'm a Grayson County transplant, so I went to bed last night praying for 3 inches of snow this morning. So, since you know whose prayers get listened to, would you pray with me? Father, what a good thing it is to be present in this warm, dry place on this pre-Thanksgiving week. We thank you, Father, for the blessings that you have poured out like the rain on this county and on this end of this beautiful Commonwealth. So this morning I would ask you to bless those who are present, bless those who have come here early this morning to provide this delicious food, and bless us in our efforts to serve you in whatever way we do that. Thank you, Lord. I make this prayer in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. This morning, we have a very special guest to do our presentation this morning, and I would like to thank First Bank and Trust for sponsoring our breakfast, so thank you to First Bank and Trust. And they have elected to have a special speaker this morning, Rowena Bailey. She's the Executive Director of the Southern Appalachia Ronald McDonald House Charities. She said no need for a long little bio, so I'm just going to introduce her name, have her come up, and then we will just get started. I think they're running it there for you right now, so come on up. If any of you all have ever visited a Ronald McDonald House, I know we see the information at McDonald's and we can put our change in there, but I was telling her the story of my grandmother was in the CCU in Roanoke several years ago, and we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House, and I had never stayed at one, so it was a reduced cost. I was in college, so it was nice to have a cheaper rate of somewhere to stay, a reduced rate, and the kitchen and everything and the food. I mean, it was just such a blessing to families, and I can only imagine those families, too, with young children that really need to have that. So it was just a really, really neat experience for me. So ever since then, I definitely donate to Ronald McDonald. So come on up. Thank you.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure to be here this morning, and I would like to say a special thank you to First Bank and Trust for many reasons. Number one, you have been a continual supporter of the Ronald McDonald House, and you really get it. Even though we're not located in Virginia, we are part of your community, and we appreciate you for that. So please tell Mr. Hyder that I said that. Ladies and gentlemen, it is, again, a pleasure for me to be here. Is someone going to start the video, please? Thank you.
My name is Heaven Byers, and me and my husband reside in Bristol, Virginia. And we had a very pleasant surprise and found out that we were expecting. We're a little bit older, so because of age, I was already considered high risk.
My name is Heather Jordan. I'm from St. Paul, Virginia. My son Chase was born at 26 weeks, which was 2 weeks ago.
My name is Kayla Hicks, and I come to Johnson City Medical Center because my water broke prematurely at 21 weeks, and so I had my daughter at 24 weeks in 1 day. She weighed 14 ounces.
My name's Shauna Hutchinson. I'm from Welch, West Virginia, and my husband and I found out at about 8 weeks along that we were having quadruplets, and obviously we couldn't go the route that we'd gone with my first pregnancy. With my daughter, we had gone to Charleston. There's a freestanding birth center, so this pregnancy was completely different.
He was born 2 pounds 2 ounces and 13 inches long. He is doing really well right now. We just had surgery to close a small heart murmur.
There was a 50% chance that we'd lose all the babies before we even got to 20 weeks. But we didn't, and it was fantastic. My water actually broke at 26 weeks and 5 days.
It was a done deal. We were having a baby that day. So we prepared, got everything ready. They took me back for a scheduled C-section at 5 o'clock. And at 5:22, Jace Isaac Byers entered the world. And he was 33 weeks and 5 days. His lungs were very immature. He was a large baby. He weighed 7 pounds and 13 ounces at 33 weeks.
2 weeks in the hospital on bed rest, and then I was 28 weeks and 4 days along, and I started having contractions, and they couldn't stop them, and now my little trio are here.
My name is Rowena, and I'm the Executive Director for the Southern Appalachian Ronald McDonald House. The house has been here for 20 years, and I am coming up on my 18th year. So it's been a blessing to be here, and it's a neat thing to be able to offer the support and a place for families to stay who have a child or children in crisis. And you know, when a family is brought down here on emergency, they come without anything. So we try to provide things like toothpaste, you know, toothbrushes, razors, soap, shampoo, you know, every little thing that we can. We can't provide everything that a family would have at home, but we do provide most of what they have at home. The Ronald McDonald House provides every family with a private bedroom and bath. We also have meals. We also have playrooms, a kitchen, TV rooms for their convenience. Really, the Ronald McDonald House is about providing families the camaraderie of other people who are experiencing the same thing they are. So it gives them an opportunity not only to bond, but it gives them a chance to move away from the hospital environment and be in a home-like environment. Also, families can take care of their children and be near them much better when they have a good night's rest. We're only across the parking lot from Nice Longer Children's Hospital, rather than having to drive 2 or 3 hours from home to try to get here.
I didn't know anything about the Ronald McDonald before having to need it, and I was just overwhelmed with the emotion of what all they do for you here. They feed you 3 meals a day, you have a warm bed to sleep in, and it's a lot like home. I mean, you get rest here, which is what's needed. They're like a second family to you when you're away from home, and we were here during Christmas time. I think my boys had the best Christmas they've had thus far. I mean, it was wonderful, the love and support and things that they provided for even the siblings of kids who were sick over there. It's just overwhelming. It's really great.
If you have a chance to give to the Ronald McDonald House, this is probably one of the very best organizations that I have ever dealt with. These women are fantastic. They treat you like family. They love you like you're their own. They don't just ask about the kids, they ask about you. They make sure you're taking care of yourself. They make sure that you're eating, you're sleeping. They make sure you're not driving yourself crazy so that you can be there for your kids. And it's just phenomenal.
Me and my husband just can't thank the founders of the Ronald McDonald Home enough, you know, because what their vision was and what they have built is more than words can say for what it did for us while our baby, you know, was over there. But, you know, we're happy to say we're home now. This place is a blessing. And when I go to McDonald's now and put money in, it has a whole new meaning, because people don't realize when they drop their pennies or dimes or dollars in there, what they're doing for families like us that has, you know, had a premature baby and needed that help and needed that financial support.
So for tonight, what I'm asking you to do is to make a difference, to donate money to help us continue the services that we provide for children and families of seriously ill children throughout the Southern Appalachian region. When you make a donation tonight, remember that you're providing a family a place to stay and food to eat. History continues to show that the majority of our families would not be near their children if it were not for the Ronald McDonald House. 56% of the people we serve come from Southwest Virginia, and 28% from Northeast Tennessee, 9% from Eastern Kentucky, and then the balance throughout the United States and other countries. So won't you take time now to write that check, take the money from your billfold or your wallet, whatever it is, and give until it hurts. Okay? Thanks. As you see, that video is used for us in our fundraising events. If you will look at the First Bank place card that's on the table there, it says that they make a difference. And that's what the Ronald McDonald House does. We make a difference in the lives of those parents who have children that are in crisis. I just shared with you and a couple of other people, why are we here and why is it your house? You've already heard that we serve 56% of our families come from Southwest Virginia. Washington County, Virginia lost their spot this year. Y'all, as we say in the South, had been #1. And now it is Wise Norton that is #1. Washington County, Virginia is #2. And then it goes to Lee, Russell, and Tazewell. And then you bring in the areas from Northeast Tennessee. Thus far this year, we have provided 1,152 of children in crisis. If they had to pay for a motel, food, incidentals, gas, internet, yada yada, they would have spent $325,775. That's a lot of money, and I can tell you that our families could not afford to do that. The majority of our families use Medicaid vans to bring them to our home to stay. Our house is not available, and now you cannot sleep in the lobbies of the hospital, so they would really be in a destitute situation. The average weight of a baby for the parents that are in our house is 2 pounds. Since January of this year, we've had 3 babies born weighing 14 ounces. Now, if you a visual of that is a Coke is in a 12-ounce can, so that tells you most of the fathers can hold this child in their hand. Most of us find out that, you know, we're going to have a little addition to our family. I refer to them as rugrats. And you think, oh, this is going to be wonderful. He's going to be the next president of the United States. He's going to be the greatest pianist in the world, going to be a quarterback, going to be a great teacher or whatever. And then at 22 weeks, 24 weeks, 26 weeks, 32 weeks, the pregnancy comes to an abrupt end. And all of a sudden you realize that life has changed tremendously. For us, we think about that, but our families live it every day, and it is a nightmare for them because they live just like this constantly. One day they're up, the next day they're down, up and down, and this is the roller coaster that they stay on. We provide the stability for them as much as we can at the Ronald McDonald House because they have other families there that they can talk to who understand what they're going through. The situation may not be the same, but they know that because you're at the Ronald McDonald House, you're in crisis, and just this quickly, your life can change. You can tell what is happening at our house if you walk in at the dinner hour every evening. If there's a lot of laughing and talking going on, then you know every child has had a good day. If you walk in and no one is talking and it's very somber, then you know immediately that we have either lost a child or a family has been called to the hospital telling them that their child is in imminent danger of dying. As I look out over this group, I realize that the families that we serve from this area sometimes are very culturally oriented. Many times we see these families who will come to our kitchen and the dining area in the evening. You watch them come to the door, turn around, walk back out. Come to the door, turn around, walk back out. That's because they don't usually eat outside of their family. So they wait until everybody leaves the kitchen and then they come in. However, I'm going to tell you about 2 days of that, they realize if they're going to get anything to eat, they better be there at 5:15. And on that note, I will say, you have to be very careful about not saying anything politically or talk about religion, but I'm going to talk about religion. It doesn't matter to me what church you belong to, the women are killing you. We have about 20 churches involved with our meal program. Now, these women never heard of, I don't think this is butter, I don't know this is butter. We have pinto beans with ham hock, fat back, cornbread, you know. I mean, we have good down-home eating. So we say you're going to have good meals, but we don't say we're killing you in the process. That somehow doesn't go together. Because of sometimes the babies that are so small when they're born, the touch of the fingers and the sound of the voice is what encourages them to live. Can you imagine that you would have a baby that you've not been able to hold for 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months? That you cannot change a diaper, you cannot give them a bottle. They are simply there, that you can only say to them, I love you, and please, please hang in there because we're doing the best we can for you. So that is the common scenario where we are at the Ronald McDonald House. It's not this baby that you take home that's happy and drinking from a bottle and all that. That's not the way it is. So if the families could not be near their children, it would just be a detriment to them in their healing process, because children need their parents. It doesn't matter if you're on this end of the continuum and you have no dollars in the bank, or you're on this end of the continuum and you have many dollars in the bank. The common ground is a sick child, and it really doesn't matter. That makes it all the same. The only difference is probably these people are educated and can understand what's happening and what the doctors are saying. On this hand, they cannot. When many of our families come to Johnson City, being in Niceburger Children's Hospital is like being in New York if you haven't been out of Dungannon, Virginia, Clintwood, Jenkins, Kentucky, and some places like that. So just trying to negotiate the inside of the hospital is a major obstacle to them. And then you have doctors who are talking in words this long with 42 consonants, and you certainly can't understand. So sometimes our director of house operations will say, what is happening and how are things going? I don't know, because I don't know what's wrong with my baby. What do you mean? I don't understand what they're saying. So we become the liaison between the hospital and the family, saying you really need to talk in everyday language, not in your big words that come out of your medical dictionary. About 2 months ago, a mother came into my office and she was crying. And of course, crying immediately says to us, this is not good. And I said, oh, what can I do? And she said, I'm crying because I got to hold my baby today for the first time, and he was a month old, and held him. And it was tears of joy for her. And of course, we all had tears of joy too. It's the same thing for children who are coming to the Ronald McDonald House who are at St. Jude. We're so blessed to have a St. Jude clinic in our area. You will not find braver people in the world than a child who is battling cancer. Not only are they brave, but they're really funny about life. They really see life much differently than we do, and very, very open about it. These parents are the ones, excuse me, who say, what did I do that God would do this? Why did God do this? You know, because the first thing as a parent, you immediately think about what have I done that could have caused this? And it's really hard to work beyond you did nothing. This is just the way life is. This is what happens sometimes. A lot of people think that the Ronald McDonald House is a sad place, but it really isn't. We're a very happy place. However, I will tell you, it's the only job I've ever had that serves my neurosis and psychosis. I can be as high as I want to be, I can be as low as I want to be, and I'm going to fit right into the atmosphere that is in the house. It's all about understanding that we are serving people who are in a great need. The best message that I hear from families who are leaving our house is, thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for being here for me. The Ronald McDonald House is not there to change their values, their morals, the way they dress, the way they look. We're simply there to make sure that they have the best possible experience in one of the worst times of their lives. Sometimes the Ronald McDonald House is the beginning of a story for some of our families, and sometimes it's the end of the story. But whatever the beginning or the end, we want it to be the best possible experience that they can have. So I want to tell you a couple of stories, and Hugh, these are good stories. I just, I can tell some stories, can't I, Lou? I will tell you, this is really a somber story here, but we had a 15-year-old boy in the house, and he his prognosis was not good, but he loved to hide, and he would hide every time and scare us. And of course, we're screaming and hollering, but that's a part of being with us. And so Joseph was with us for 2 years, and when he left, we were very sad. You know, you hear so much about being professional and walking that certain line. Well, we're really professional at the Ronald McDonald House. We never cross over that line. But after a family's been with you for 2 years, I can tell you, you cross over the line, and they become your family too. About a year ago, I was walking through the kitchen, and this lady said to me, "Ma'am, do you have any cabbage?" And I said, "I don't know whether we have cabbage or not, but if we don't, I'll certainly make sure that you have some." And we looked, and we didn't have it. And so, of course, being the good Southerner that I am, I said, well, do you want fat back, or do you want bacon grease? You know, when we go to the grocery store, and she looked at me and she said, "Honey, I ain't cooking this. I got this to go on my daughter's breast. She's got an infection. We're trying to draw it out." So wives' tales are still very prevalent in this area. If y'all remember, we had an eclipse here several months ago. The 2 or 3 days after we had the eclipse, this lady walked in and she said, "You know we're in trouble, don't you?" And I said, "If you're at the Ronald McDonald House, you're automatically in trouble. We know that for a fact." And she said, "Well, it's all about the eclipse. Do you know about the eclipse?" And I said, "Yeah, I know about the eclipse. Yeah, you know, you meet them where they are. You meet them where they are for sure." And then we had another family whose baby was born, and the baby weighed 1 pound and 2 ounces. The same day, we had a baby air-vac'd in from Harlan, Kentucky. He weighed 15 pounds, and he was in the NICU unit. Now remember, this is 1 pound and 2 ounces and 15. So the grandmother comes in the house. She's absolutely furious. She said, "I am so mad at them over at the hospital. I can't hardly stand it." And I said, "What have they done?" And she said, "It wasn't bad enough that Sarah Faith looked like a little wet rat anyway. Now they put her up next to the Philadelphia Steelers football quarterback, and one of his thighs is bigger than her 3 times over." So there are funny stories that happen at the Ronald McDonald House. In closing, I want you to know that we make a difference every day. There's not a day that any of us, our staff, goes home that we do not have the realization that truly we have helped somebody get to where they need to be. The families that stay at our house will never have the values of our staff. They will never live like we live. But we meet them where they are because they're in trouble, and that's what we're all about. The best story that I can tell you that explains us very, very well. We had this family from Harlan, Kentucky. And women, I don't want to insult you, but you have to take a tour of the house. You have to know how to get in and get out and exit, you know. And the whole time we're doing the tour, the woman has not shut her mouth yet. It's just constantly going. The man has not said one word. We got on the 3rd floor for them to go to their room, and as we got off the elevator, he said, "Ma'am, could I ask you a question?" I said, "You certainly can." He says, "Is this anything like staying in a Hilton hotel?" Well, it shocked me so bad, but just that quick I said, "You know what? I think you've nailed it. But let me tell you what the difference is. At the Hilton, they're going to come in every morning. They're going to strip your bed, run the vacuum, clean your bathroom. We're not going to do that here. You're going to do it for yourself. At the Hilton, you're going to have great food, but you're going to pay for it. Here, you're going to have great food, and it has been prepared for you out of the love of someone's heart because they know that you're at the Ronald McDonald House and that you're in trouble." So thank you for allowing me to talk about the Ronald McDonald House. I would ask you to come to visit us. If you want to see a Ronald McDonald House on steroids, you need to visit after Thanksgiving up through Christmas. We have 17 Christmas trees. Whew. Sometimes I go home, I'm a nervous wreck. I mean, you know, the lights are going and everything else. But I can tell you that the children that stay in our house never see anything like this. And you don't, you know, to me, everybody has a Christmas tree. Everybody has lights, but everybody doesn't have a Dr. Seuss tree. They don't have a Grinch tree. They don't have a bull moose tree. They don't have an upside-down tree. So it's winter wonderland for the children, and they are so excited. And I truly get to see Christmas again through the eyes of a child, and it makes all the difference in the world. So I ask you to come and see us, see what we're all about, and see that why the families will never stay in a place as nice as the Ronald McDonald House. Truly, they never eat food as good as they eat at the Ronald McDonald House. But we're here to give them the best at the worst time in their lives, and the economic situation has nothing to do with it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. I know, like she said, we've all seen the Ronald McDonald's at the McDonald's and all of that. We've all heard about it. But if you know a family that has experienced that, like from the videos, or know of someone that has been there and stayed at a time of need, it definitely is a special, special place. So thank you all, and thanks to First Bank and Trust for allowing her to come and share that story today. So thank you. Okay, it is time for our business card exchange to get you up and get you moving after you've been sitting for a little bit. So grab your cards, and we're going to take about 5 minutes. And on your mark, get set and go. For those of you that are new, if you have business cards, you just do a swap right now. So enjoy. Okay, you have 60 seconds. Share those cards and then work your way back to your seat, please. And if I could have someone from First Bank and Trust that would like to come up and do the door prizes, do the drawings for the door prizes, that would be fantastic. Because there's 19 door prizes, so if you can just pick out 19, that would be great.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. All right, well, he is drawing, and thank you for your help. And I have my little helpers over here, so thank you, ladies, for helping with the door prizes. So come on over and grab you a few, and we'll get going. We've got 19, so hold on to your seats. Make sure you raise your hand if you're the winner, and let us know. So the first one is Chris Brown with the drug court. Over here on the left. There you go. Thank you. Phyllis Greathead with Workforce Services. Carol Jones, back there in the back. All right. Chiropractic First. Brian Doubts. Oh, over here. Crystal Caton, Habitat for Humanity, right in the back. Susan, right there in the back. Since you're back that direction, that's great. Thank you. Barbara Farmer. Nancy's got her. Sweetgrass Skincare. Right. Oh, and welcome. See what happens when you decide to come to the chamber, right? Let's see. Millsap Farms. He's right back there at the table. Mark Barrett in the very back. Build a Basket. There we go. Mojo's Cafe. That would be Susan. Mojo's Cafe was a winner. Yeah. I guess you can give yourself a book. How about that? Susan McNeil Ferraro, I apologize. Felicia McNabb with Occupational Enterprises. She's right here in the front. Teresa Eldridge, is that right? How many do we have left? Got two, and then one more, so 5, okay? Jane During, Director of Tourism. She's got one back there. Nancy's got her. Samantha Mitchell, looks like from First Bank. Back there. Haynes Greenhouse. Cheryl Janelle. And then how many do we have left? 1 or 2? Okay. Wes Roberts. There we go. Thank you all. And the door prizes were given by First Bank and Trust, Highlands Union Bank, United Southeast Federal Credit Union, Farm Credit, Dickinson Currency, and Southwest Virginia Higher Education Center, and Build a Basket. So thank you all for donating your door prizes. And if you would like to donate a door prize, you can just drop that off at the chamber office, and we'll bring those as we come throughout the year. So thank you all. And again, a special thank you to the First Bank and Trust and Ronald McDonald House for coming this morning. We appreciate you all very much. And of course to the Southwest Virginia Higher Ed Center for hosting our breakfast. And new members. I guess, Christy, you're up. There you go.
Yes, I do have one new member to introduce. It is Dawn Kuhn with Veterans of Foreign Wars Post-1994 Auxiliary.
Good morning. My name is Dawn Kuhn. I'm with the VFW Post-1994 Auxiliary here in Abington. We're new. Our mission is to support our local veterans and to advocate for veterans' rights. So that's basically what the VFW does. When you see us out doing poppies and people are like, oh, there they are again, the money stays local. We have about a phone call a day from local veterans that need assistance, whether it's with utility bills or just needs that they have. So those are things that we do that we really can't publish to the public, but we do a lot for the local veterans. So when you see us out there, that's why we're there. So thank you.
Thank you.
We're not aware of any other new members here. If there are any new members here, you're welcome to raise your hand, and we want to make sure you're acknowledged. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a name for the chamber member infomercial, which would be right now. So, Christy, I'll have you do that as well. So, I got a card in here, and what you do is you just give a little 60-second spiel on your business. And that would be Sandy Ratliff, VCC.
Can I take more than 60 seconds?
Yeah.
Hi, Sandy Ratliff with Virginia Community Capital. If you're not familiar with us, we are a community development financial institution based in Christiansburg, but we have offices in Richmond and Norfolk, and I'm in our community impact team, basically helping with business expansion, startup, and community development. So if there's everything I can do to help you, please let me know, and thanks for having me.
Thank you. The next drawing is going to be for the chamber member spotlight. So if you're selected for this, you will be on our chamber page. You can give your information to Nancy Fireball, and she'll make sure that your information gets on there for the month. So let's see here. That would be chiropractic first, Brian Doubts. So there you go. Congratulations. And please remember to sign in on the guest sheet, the green sheet on the table. There's also a listing of calendar events on the table and upcoming events. If you would like to add some of those, you can add those on the green sheet as well. We do have a little announcement about the Washington County Chamber Christmas tree. There are lots of Christmas trees out here at the Higher Ed Center. They have those trees, and businesses or people bring in canned foods for Feeding America. And that will be out in the hallway until December the 17th. Ours is actually the first one, so on your way out, and it's actually pretty neat. They did a really creative idea. They put all the pictures for the ribbon cuttings are on there, which is a neat way to support the chamber and the people in our community. So if you do have canned goods and that you would like to stop by, or your business would like to donate and collect by December 17th, there's other places out there, other trees out there. You might want to just walk down that direction and see if there's another business or organization that you would like to support as well. But we do collect quite a few from Feeding America. I don't know if David's in here. Did you want to say anything else about the tree? Sorry, I put you on the spot, but. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. Okay. There is going to be a ribbon cutting for Dragonfly Spa and Boutique on Friday, November the 16th at 11 a.m. It's located at 370 East Main Street in Abingdon. There's a ribbon cutting for Grounded LLC on Tuesday, November 27th at 11 a.m. located at 274 West Main Street in Abingdon. And the Washington County Chamber is pleased to host the 32nd Annual Southwest Virginia Legislative Breakfast and Forum on December the 3rd here at the Southwest Virginia Higher Ed Center. Registration will be at 8 a.m., breakfast buffet will begin at 8:15, and the forum will begin at 9 a.m. Cost is $25 per person. You may pre-register online or complete the form located on your tables. Pre-registration is required and will end on November 26th. Call the Chamber office for more details. We will be collecting canned foods at that time or monetary donations for Feeding America. Food items can be dropped off at the Higher Ed Center again before December 17th. But if you are going to attend the legislative breakfast, that's a good time between now and then to collect, and you can bring them in at that time. Barry Fireball, did you have anything that you would like to add today?
Okay, Leadership Washington County, we're about a fourth of the way through this session. We had two of our meetings since we last breakfast. We met at the sheriff's office. They hosted a meeting for us. Fred Parker talked to the group about financing local government, or Washington County's government, and we participated in part of their program on Neighborhood Watch program, okay. And on Tuesday evening, we had a program on understanding leadership styles. The Myers-Briggs, Peg Ayers led a discussion there at that meeting. So again, we're about a fourth of the way through this year's program. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Sandy Ratliff with the New Knowledge and Business Challenge update.
I'm back. I'm pleased that we're getting ready to launch our 6th year for the Washington County Business Challenge. This has been a very successful program here in the community, and I encourage you to spread the word. We start January the 22nd and go through February the 26th. We have now $32,000 that we're going to be giving out to business startups and existing businesses here in the community. And if you don't know the impact, just drive up and down the streets of Damascus and Glade Spring and the town of Abington and through the county. You're going to see businesses that they may not have won, but the important thing that they did is they received the skills and the encouragement to move forward on that business. So I've got some flyers. Please help us spread the word in the community. Applications are due on January the 11th. This is a great opportunity for not just startups but existing businesses. So we know people. Everyone in this room knows someone that could benefit from that. Please just share the word for us.
Can you mention real quick just if they have done this before and they were not a winner,
yes,
that they still can participate?
If they participated in the past and were not a grand winner, they can also be part of the Business Challenge coming up in January, so take advantage of it.
Great, thank you. The Abington Convention and Visitors Bureau.
January Jam starts January 11th. It's when we bring Grammy Award-winning and Grammy-nominated artists to perform at the Barter Theater. Tickets range anywhere from $15 to $18 and up. Some of our shows are close to selling out. It's a great Christmas present. Also, Barter Theater has moved their Appalachian Festival of Plays and Playwrights to January, so we've got it all. Get your culture, get your music, and go to dinner and have a great night. I'm going to hand it over to Tanya to talk about Christmas.
So this Sunday, sorry, Danny. This Sunday is our merchant open house. So we have merchants all along Main Street who will be open 1 to 5. They're offering specials, discounts, drawings, refreshments. We know that when you support a local merchant, that 64 cents of every dollar you spend stays in our community. So we're asking you to get out and do your Christmas shopping early while you still have parking and nobody is crowding into your space. A nice relaxing day in Abington to do your Christmas shopping. Early that morning, Barter is going to be hosting a Holiday Hustle 5K. They already have 150 people registered to run the 5K on the Creeper Trail that morning at 10 o'clock. So please come out on Sunday and support our merchants. I left some rack cards up here on the table. So November the 29th, we have a Christmas tree lighting in the town park across from the post office. We also have the Christmas parade on December the 1st. And then on December the 8th, the Grinch will be making a visit to the Coombs Recreation Center. So hope to see you all out.
Thank you all so much. Please call the chamber office if you would like to donate door prizes, which we had mentioned earlier. Please remember to see the table in the back where there are some other flyers that you might be interested in picking up on your way out. Thank you all so much for coming out this rainy morning. I hope you all have a fantastic day and happy Thanksgiving.